right?
Unless it's DLC
Wait.
Let's see.
with new game modes.
I mean, wait.
Ooh.
What is this?
Spire.
There you go.
A new Monkey
This
Island.
is a lie.
That's a Sith code.
Sith believe.
That's a Sith code.
Wait, hang on, Eric. Who's
What's
talking?
happening?
They promised power. Now they wield it.
A mobile game.
We face the
Shut up,
greatest
Rick. Shut up,
Sith
Rick.
in generations.
Revan!
They must be stopped.
What is that?
Is this Knights of the Republic?
What?
Remake! Holy shit! Eric, you're so excited.
Dude.
Oh,
Remade for PS5, man. Dude, that's not what I was ready for. I was not ready for that.
They peaked early.
Stop the showcase! We're done!
Damn. What does that mean? We have so much to talk about with that. Just that. We have to talk about that later.
Oh my god!
There's so much to talk about just for that.
Oh fuck, man.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm so happy.
That's gonna be so fun.
Next
about
up, we
God of
have
War or something.
Ryan Treadwell. He's the lead producer at Aspire. And wouldn't you know, just a little while ago, we got the announcement of a remake for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So, Ryan, I guess my question is this like a remaster?
Is this a full-on-
of the original
It says
game, or
remake.
What's going on here?
Are they altering
It's
it
so
to be
much more,
canon?
Sid.
You know, like
This is a complete remake of this beloved Star Wars story. For Star Wars Knights of the Old
Complete
Republic remake, we are rebuilding from the ground up while maintaining that integrity of story and character from the original.
So, Ryan, how much of a remake are we talking about here? I mean, is this
Say ground
updating
up,
some
motherfucker.
graphics, adding some higher resolution modes?
You know, the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is a true classic and one of our favorite Star Wars stories ever. We want to honor that original story and make it as impactful for players today. In terms of the visuals, we have an opportunity to present this story with a much higher
We have the
level
same
of
voice
fidelity than was
actors?
possible in the
I
past.
don't know. I'm wanting to
while
see if they
making
say anything
sure
about
that
it. It'd be
we're
great.
being authentic to what players loved about that
Bring
original
everyone back
game.
in.
So we know Aspire from bringing classic Star Wars games to modern consoles. But this is a much bigger project than anything the studio's tackled
They did
before.
Republic
So
Commandos too,
what
Eric.
can you tell me about the team
Company doing
behind the
this.
game?
You're absolutely right. While Aspire has enjoyed a great relationship with Lucasfilm Games through our work bringing classic Star Wars games to new audiences on modern platforms, this project is on a completely different level to anything we have done before. That's why we knew we had to assemble the right team to do this project justice. We put together a team full of industry veterans from fan-favorite RPGs, even including the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Ah.
It has been a really rewarding experience to assemble such a talented team to bring back an epic game. Of course, we're also working closely with the amazing teams at PlayStation and Lucasfilm Games. Together, we couldn't be more excited about what we'll be able to show you in the future. All of us are, of course, huge Star Wars fans too. One of the nice parts about building a team to make a big Star Wars game is the ability to instantly bond with all of the new people of your favorite aspects of Star Wars. We all have different Star Wars memorabilia behind us in every call, and it always sparks up a good conversation.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
All right.
Very exciting stuff, and I'm definitely dying
Ground
to see more of
up.
that one.
Thank you, Sid. It will be some time before we're ready to show more, but we're very excited about being able to reveal more in the future.
Take your time.
All right,
it's
and
so
that's
good.
it for our show.
I'm so excited.
You can catch up on all the big news on PlayStation.blog and check out all the trailers from tonight's PlayStation Showcase on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
All
There we
right.
go. That will be the end
I
of it.
got what I wanted, which was God of War and Spider-Man.
Dude, I can't believe
And got
they're
what I
having
never
KOTOR.
imagined I was gonna get a remake of KOTOR.
Who knows?
KOTOR.
Yeah, like they've been remaking Jedi Outcast. They remade recently. They did.
Well, they didn't remake. That was just like
A lot of those were
ported over.
remastered
This is a
or ports.
re-remake.
They were one of the two. Like
and
I
it's
think they did
such
some
a
of those.
bigger
but
game.
This
so
is
big. He talked about the visuals a lot, but I really
Sure.
hope we can keep, Bastila Sean. It sounded like Bastila. Now that I knew that was Revan, I was like, is that Bastila that was talking about, the Sith code or whatever? I hope that we can keep relatively, if it's not just the same voices completely from the old game, but maybe
Sure.
the same actors. But I also really love Knights of the Republic's music. It does not have any Star Wars John Williams music. It's completely
I just
on
wonder
its
if
own.
with the idea of being a remake, like how much do you keep the same, and also how much do you change?
Yeah.
And do they do it in a way where it's just like, we just want to remake this game, let people play it, and it's gonna be fun for people who have or haven't played it, or
Sure.
is it a remake and they alter it a little bit if they need to make it also fit into like an actual canon thing?
From what he said
You know?
about
I don't know if that's
making
a possibility, if it's more so just for fun.
I don't know, yeah.
And everyone can just enjoy the same story and everything that we had before, because a lot of people just love that. And if you change too much, they might not like it. But there has been remakes where like, well, this game was remade and they altered some stuff, and this is what it is now.
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's coming out on console, so
This people are saying that it's a timed exclusive. So
It's still coming out on a console.
it's coming up on account. But
for,
I mean, Xbox
for time
had
exclusive is like what they
Extra
did with
Republic.
Mario All Star. It's like it's going to be out for X amount of time.
Yeah.
And then it won't be available anymore. But
from what they were saying about making it a faithful, like, remake of the original with the original characters and stuff, from what he said there, I don't think they would change it and make it like more canon or anything. But
I mean, you don't make it more canon, but the idea of like, is what they're doing just for fun, or is what they're doing at all related to like Disney fitting in their canon of what they want?
Yeah.
And like this will make it canon. Like you could still change some things too to make it tie into like High Republic stuff. That wouldn't necessarily change things too much, but you could add in some stuff. You could put in some extra quest lines.
I mean,
or some
if it
extra
keeps
dialogue.
the same time period, then 4,000 years to 200 years in terms of past and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you got like different characters and
Yeah.
stuff that you could maybe switch around. Yoda lives for a very long time. Maybe you have someone that shows up in a High Republic that is familiar or references something that happens in it. But
sure.
does this bring it up to where like, is there a reason for releasing it now? Like, is this because you want to bring it in to where now it could be, let's mess with the old Republic. We brought this game
Sure.
out. We got a new generation of people playing that never played it, an older generation that love it.
I definitely get what you
You know,
mean, and I
like-
can have some high hopes for that. But
Yeah, I just wonder if
think
they're looking at it from that way.
I'll assume no, just because like they recently brought in, Republic Commando, Jedi Outcast was re-released. Like, I don't think. I mean, I would hope if they're going to be like remaking it from the ground up.
Most
but
of those though were like
I don't know.
remastered / ports though. They weren't like remade. If you're remaking it, you have a lot more flexibility of
Sure.
changing and adding and altering anything.
Well,
So
like
I'm just
with-
curious
with
on any of
Final
that.
Fantasy
stuff.
7, like that is much different, and they
Sure.
are taking the story in a different direction.
Yeah. It's still the same characters. It's some similar story stuff.
Yeah.
But that remake is vastly different from the original.
It plays very
Final Fantasy
differently, and all the story beats are not the
So
same.
with PlayStation already having done that, is it possible that a KOTOR remake, sure, it's remade and its characters and maybe similar stories, but can it be different? And is it because maybe they're leaning into something more? Or is it one for one just going to be the same thing, but looking better? That's the difference I'm looking at as far as remake, So I don't know. But I'm excited either way because
And
like
I mean, with it being on the PlayStation, when it'll be exclusive to PlayStation when it comes out, but then it'll go out to PC and Xbox at a later time, which will be. I mean, I played on PC back in the day, and I loved to mod. That's what Republic so much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if I could wait though, but we'll see.
I wonder what else they will change with it. Like Final Fantasy VII's battle system for that remake is vastly different than Final Fantasy VII's battle system
It
in
is
the
very
original.
different.
And they're both good, right? Like one's just a turn-based style, but the other one it kind of has that elements of turn-based in it, right?
and you can play the new one more turn-based as well.
Sure.
It's still not quite the same as it was back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's modernized, and part of it is a little more actiony. And there's new music, there's new remixes of the old music.
Like, do you do that with Star Wars and make it where it's a little bit more actiony combat, or do you change it up and keep it more of like, because that kind of had like a turn-based but not turn-based, but you're kind of like queuing up what your attack's going to be, and it kind of played in like a D&D system kind of thing, But
it was a CRPG.
But what I have to imagine that's not going to change is the reason for. I know this is an older game, so a lot of you have to remember, like a lot of us played this back in the day, but there's going to be a lot of people that have no idea about Knights of the Old Republic that are new Star Wars fans because of stuff like The Mandalorian or the sequels that never played it.
Sure.
And if you have, make sure you're sensitive to there's stuff in that game that people that never played have no idea about. And
Story beats
it's
and
going to be really
spoilers
easy to spoil that for people. But I remember, like, when I played it for the first time, experiencing that story, and it was like
Sure.
I can't believe this is happening, that kind of stuff. We've got to make sure, because we got people even in this room, like Calvin, you've never played Knights of the Republic.
Nope.
I would love for Calvin to be able to play a remake of Knights of the Republic and know nothing about it going in, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Other than just a general knowledge of Star Wars.
Part of me wonders too, like there's the same kind of idea with like Final Fantasy VII, where it has like big twists and spoilers, or things that you're like, man, if you'd never played this before, you would have fun playing through the storyline.
Yeah.
But like with the remake being changed and different, like what story beats are still there, what
yeah.
aren't, what new ones are there that the people who did play the original aren't expecting and can still be like a new twist for them when they think they know what the story is going to be. So I'm definitely excited to see like what they do with it. Like I know there's no release date, there's no trailers, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm just excited I'm excited that they're announcing that it is coming.
I know, it was
and what it could be.
It was the first thing,
and I was not expecting it. I was not ready for that to be.
Even
what
whenever
they
just start, like I heard Sith, and I'm like, okay, that's a Sith code. Okay, what is this? And Rick said, mobile game. I'm like, you motherfucker, it probably is. But just the red blade coming out, and it took just a frame or two to realize that's Darth Revan's mask.
I mean, it's a PlayStation press conference. So it wasn't going to be a mobile game, but
Yeah.
I thought it might have been like a MOBA.
No, I get what you
something,
mean.
You know,
It's you get excited, then you're like, okay, I'm not gonna play that right, maybe, but I'm gonna play this one a lot. Yeah. I in terms of like it being a remake, in terms of what changes there could be, I mean, I loved the original game, so I don't need a ton of changes. But one thing that could be improved maybe is, that was kind of the beginning of BioWare's choice and conversation tree. And it is a little dated, especially now that I'm playing like Mass Effect and stuff like that. So I wonder if they are going to do something different, maybe like adding more consequence to certain things might be interesting.
Well, the things that would be good is, and I say good, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it was bad before, but expanding where like, your dialogues, the quests that you can do, like it'd be nice to have like, if you could implement more quests and open up the galaxy a little bit more, where like when you go to a planet, it feels a little bit more like a little bigger than just like I landed here and this is where I am.
Like I'm on a planet, but I only have 1 square mile.
So like that, that at the time is really good in what they did. But now you could probably expand that a little bit more. You could add in more quests, and I think one thing that would open up that I didn't necessarily like as much back when I played the first one much later because I didn't have an Xbox. But when I played it, you have to play through the game more than once in order to experience all of the companions that you can meet and have, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mass Effect's the same way, but like you get different companions you can take with you, right?
Yeah.
As you play and you get experience with them and you make a connection, you unlock dialogue trees with them, sometimes quest lines and stuff.
Yep.
In KOTOR, I don't know if Mass Effect's this way, but in KOTOR, you can't do that for everybody in one playthrough. You'd have to play through more than one time. But if you open up the worlds a little bit and give some more quests, some different dialogue options, you could kind of have some more stuff in the world, in the galaxy, filling things out. But it also gives you more things to do to maybe bring some different people with you and fulfill different quest lines of all these different characters you have with you,
I'm not sure what like the scope of this project is, but it could be like a Age of Empires remake where it's the base game, but then there's DLC.
Yeah.
That's now new.
Sure. And that's true too. I mean, if they did, KOTOR 2 ended before they had like a whole nother like planet you were gonna go to, and they just didn't get to it. Like if they remade that, you're like, let's remake this too after we're done with this, and tell the story of everything we want, and finish the game, and have a little bit more to it, and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, no, it would just be neat to have like either extra stuff, maybe not extra stuff. Like you could do like I just keep thinking of Final Fantasy VII. It's like, well, you could have similar, different, or the same, but also just more. And just expand, like, well, you can do this, and this adds more to the story. But if you skip it, you could skip it too, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's so many things in my mind of like how they could do it and what they could do.
I would temper my expectations.
Sure.
Like not expecting a Final Fantasy VII remake.
Well, no,
thing.
I'm perfectly fine with just the exact same game in a better fashion. I would love to. There's been times I want to play the game, and I'm like, I don't want to get out like an Xbox. I'm not gonna port it. I've had issues on ports on the PC before and stuff. I could play it on my phone, I guess, but I'm not gonna do that either. Having a remake, I'd probably play through it at least 2 times, like after it comes out, just to play it and go through. And I'm sure my kids will love it. Melanie, it's one of her favorite games ever. So I don't know. I'm fine with the same exact game, but my mind's just racing with all these other ideas of what you could do and how you could change and the canon and whatever else. So, but my biggest hope is you make the same exact game.
Yep.
Right? And at the very least, what they're doing is they're implementing, look, here's some Old Republic stuff. Hopefully everyone enjoys this. New people have now seen it.
Yeah.
We did High Republic and tested waters of that. We're gonna also open up the era of the Old Republic
Fuck
and start
yeah,
telling
dude.
stories back then with books or TV shows or movies or whatever. And I think that would be even.
We're
Like,
gonna
I'm
do
fine with just that.
Orbindo. We're gonna get fucking Darth Malak.
Because then all the
We're
stories,
gonna get fucking Carthonasi, baby.
like all the stories I'm talking about that you could tell in KOTOR, you don't have to if what you're
Yeah.
doing is just trying to give a taste so that you can implement movies, TV shows, and books and comics all in canon.
Sure.
You know, and then you can tell those stories right there. And I would love that too. I'd love to see like a Darth Revan story on the movies, you know? On the big screen.
HK-47.
He's so cool. HK is such a cool character.
Oh man,
Dude,
well,
that-
that's amazing.
Guys, thank you. I think that's probably it for this one then. As long as no one has anything else for game-wise or anything.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do. All right. Well, make sure you guys come back tomorrow for that. And Psychonauts with Rick on Saturday. So,
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Revan.